In this, President Obama highlighted the story of a Jamaican woman, Angeline Jackson, who's a lesbian.
Several years ago, when Angeline was 19, she and a friend were kidnapped, held at gunpoint, sexually assaulted. And as a woman and as a lesbian, justice and society were not always on her side. But instead of remaining silent, she chose to speak out and started her own organization to advocate for women like her, get them treatment and get them justice and push back against stereotypes and give them some sense of their own power. And she became a global activist. But more than anything, she cares about her Jamaica and making it a place where everybody, no matter their color or their class or their sexual orientation, can live in equality and opportunity.
Obama urged young people in the Caribbean to help create societies where the rights of all, including members of the LGBT community, are respected. Executive Director of the Jamaica Forum for Lesbians, Homosexuals and Gays, JFLAG, Dane Lewis says he's thankful President Obama not only raised the issue, but also celebrated the work of Angeline Jackson.
I think how he presented Angeline's story alongside the young man shows the reality that inclusion is the way forward. He did speak about her sexual orientation, but that was not the larger issue. He raised the issue that it is that fighting spirit, that spirit of leadership, which is what was really celebrated, and that regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of the communities that we've come from, that it was an issue of inclusion.
Mr. Lewis says Jamaica remains a difficult place for LGBT people despite advances that have been made. He says there's still a long way to go. Prominent member of human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice, Susan Goff, is also welcoming Obama's message.
By recognizing Angeline Jackson and the important work that she's doing with the organization she is co-founder of, sends the message that all people within the society need to have their rights, their dignity, their value acknowledged and are entitled to full recognition and full participation within the society.
Ms. Goff is also welcoming comments on Twitter from the U.S. National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, who traveled to Jamaica with President Obama. Ms. Rice wrote on Twitter that laws and violence against members of the LGBT community are unacceptable everywhere. She said this is the global policy of the Obama administration, and he discussed the matter in Jamaica. Rashon Thompson, Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society, Dr. Wayne West, is accusing President Obama of what he calls the wrong use of social power. He says President Obama is trying to make homosexuality appear normal.
Mr. Obama is making some assumptions when he makes that point about sexual orientation. He is making the assumption that it is normal, that it is consistent with design in the universe. And as such, because it is consistent with design in the universe, human beings should organize their social structures to accommodate it. I disagree with that. It is not normal. It is not consistent with design in the universe. And organizing your social structures to accommodate it will always and inevitably lead to bad outcomes.
Dr. Wayne West, chairman of the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society, speaking with Nationwide News. In the meantime, he says he agrees that LGBT people should not be discriminated against for job employment and certain other opportunities.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller